Good morning, superheroes! I hope you're having a fabulous time here with us at Holiday Club, learning lots and making some amazing things. Well, we're learning again about our superhero, Peter, and what an amazing superhero he is. We've learnt about his decision, his choice to follow Jesus. We saw his faith and trust in Jesus as he stepped out on the boat and walked on water. And today we think about our third superhero theme, and that's forgiveness. We find Peter making mistakes here, just like we do. I am sure that every day we make mistakes of some kind. The great thing is that Peter, who made the decision to follow Jesus, lived out his faith by trusting in Jesus, and he still made mistakes. So, shall we find out more? Jesus said to Peter as they sat around the table, "Peter, before the cockerel crows, you will disown me 3 times. "Never, never," replied Peter. "I'll never disown you." After Jesus had finished speaking and praying with his disciples, they left where they were and walked a short way to the garden called Gethsemane. It was a garden that they visited often. It was here that Judas Iscariot, one of the disciples of Jesus, led the Roman soldiers to arrest Jesus. It was here that Judas Iscariot betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. Now, as the soldiers approached Jesus, Peter, filled with passion and wanting to defend Jesus, drew his sword, raised it in the air, and launched at the servant of the high priest, who was also there to arrest Jesus. The sword narrowly missed the high priest's head, catching his ear on his way down, slicing it clean off. "Stop, Peter! Put your sword away," Jesus commanded. "No more of this." And he touched the ear of the man, instantly healing him. The Roman soldiers and the guards then arrested Jesus. Binding his wrists together, they took him away. As the soldiers led Jesus away, Peter and another disciple followed close behind, eager to know what was to happen to their friend and their teacher. Jesus was taken in to see the high priest, whose name was Caiaphas. But Peter was allowed to go no further. "What are they going to do with him?" Peter said to himself. "What are they going to do with Jesus?" Peter hung around outside the courtyard of the high priest, pacing up and down, fidgeting nervously, his thoughts racing and racing. Eventually, a servant girl who was on duty in the courtyard brought Peter in. "Are you? You are, aren't you? You're one of Jesus's followers." No, replied Peter as quick as anything. "No, I'm not. What are you talking about? I'm not." Peter quickly shuffled away to a nearby fire to keep himself warm. Standing around the fire were some of the high priest's servants and guards. "Excuse me," said one of the men standing around the fire. "Aren't you one of the Jesus' disciples?" No, said Peter quite sternly. And then a relative, the man whose ear Peter had recently cut off, said, "I'm sure you are. Didn't I see you in the garden when Jesus was arrested?" No, shouted Peter. "I am not his follower. Leave me alone." Just then, a cockerel crowed. Peter's face dropped as he remembered what Jesus had said to him. "Before the cockerel crows today, you will disown me 3 times. Peter then ran out of the courtyard, and ashamed of himself and all alone, he cried bitterly. Whoa, that's a lot of mistakes there for Peter, wasn't it? A lot of denial that Peter even knew Jesus. What we do know, though, that even though the story today is Peter saying, "No, I don't recognise Jesus. No, I don't know who he is. No, I'm not one of his friends," We do know from Peter's life, and for all that we read about in our Bibles, is that Peter does mess up. He messes up then. But the amazing thing is that Peter is forgiven for this, and Jesus chooses him to do something amazing for him. We too make lots of mistakes, don't we? Are there things that we have done today that we need to apologise for? Do we need to go to someone? Perhaps we need to forgive someone who's done something to us. Do we need to ask Jesus to forgive us for something that we have done wrong? Perhaps something that we have said. Perhaps we too have said we don't know Jesus. And perhaps today we need to say sorry to Jesus. So, who's our superhero? Superhero Peter. And what's our superhero theme? Forgiveness. Have a great day, fellow superheroes.